Hello, Renee Flamont here. You guys, the topic of the new supply being obsessed with us is a topic I find of intense interest because I feel that we spend so much time being obsessed with the new supply that we don't stop to think the new supply is thinking about us. We don't stop to think that we're their old supply. I mean, isn't this rich? Seriously, we all know it's true. And the reason we all know it's true, that the new supply obsesses over us, even if we've never thought about it, the reason we know it's true is simple. We all obsessed about some former supply at some point. Or obsessed over his new supply that he got behind your back, maybe, or in front of your face. It's impossible not to. We're wired a certain way. And I think if you are involved with a narcissist, you may even be an empath or a codependent or somebody that has their own dysfunction like me that I'm battling. So it makes me feel that much more. So of course I've obsessed over the old supply, the new supply, another new supply. They're obsessed over us as well. And the narcissist likes to see people obsess over them, which is why they'll triangulate you with the new supply. They're triangulating the new supply with you too. At the same time, they're triangulating you with the new supply. They're trying to make the new supply jealous. Oh, I can hear him now. Oh, well, Renee she's a little tiny person. I'm not, whatever he would say, but he'd incorporate that into, they know exactly how to jab another person. Triangulating. And they do it all the time. And the new supply has their own level that they have to go through about being obsessed with you. So the narcissists want us to feel that triangulation. They're trying to make their new supply jealous over you. They're trying to make you jealous over their last supply. They're trying to make you jealous over their new supply. They like that when somebody gets jealous. Triangulation gives them a rush. Oh, yeah. They think it's about them, the ego. They don't understand it's because we're trauma bonded and blah, 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 600 videos. They don't know that. They just think, ooh, she's jealous. Like, that's how elementary their brain works. I'm sorry, Minnie. They think it's about them. So they're trying to make everybody jealous. And mine worked on that the whole time. With me. With neighbors, wives of his friends, an ex, the new, or anyone he could. Anyone he could. And he was doing the same to all of them. So became obsessed with what is her story? What does she look like? Like about me. I'm an ex-supply. He was here a long enough time that a new supply would have a lot of questions. Do you know what I mean? And I feel bad. And as much as we've all had our turn at getting crazy over a new supply or an ex-supply, we are the new or the ex to someone else. So we are their obsession. We cause somebody else tears. Someone else found his textation with you on his phone when he wasn't looking. You guys are still talking back and forth. He's hoovering you. There's love language. Some new supply is finding that. They obsess. And they're looking for it. And remember, the narcissist operates on a revolving cycle of new players, old players. Everyone gets the same good and bad treatments. And I promise you, we're someone else's huge headache. I think we forget this. I think we forget that they obsess over us as well because we're so busy obsessing about them and every little detail about them and Does he love her? Does he do this? Does he say that? How is he treating her? Why is he with her? We go through a lot. There's a lot of phases. And we have to acknowledge them. They're painful. But we forget. We take all the pain for ourselves, thinking they are causing it to you. We caused the new supply plenty of grief, I assure you. The roles just change. You know what? We're doing it again. I think I used these once, but you guys, somebody said to me it was a good example. Okay, look, we'll use these little Buddhas. Let's say this is this is, I'll call this one me, okay? This is me. I'm current supply of a narcissist. This is his ex, and this is his new. All that's going to happen, I become this one becomes the new, and the ex is over here. Let's change her now. Now she's the new. There's a new ahead of you. The role that each one plays gets a certain treatment by the narcissist, but the narcissist does not change or start treating any one of these better than the other. There might be more tolerance from one. This person might have the patience of a saint, and this person's got a short fuse. Well, this person might last 10 years in this middle role with the narcissist as their main supply. But he's always going to have an old supply, he's always going to have a new supply, and he's always going to have someone obsessing over someone else in this circle. So if this is the new, and this is the new supply, this is the old supply, you don't think this person's obsessing over you? Of course they are. When you were the main supply, weren't you obsessing over the ex before you? I did, especially when I found a textation that had been going on the entire year that I was dating him, and I had no idea until over a year that I knew him. Found it. Yeah, it stings. Of course it does. But I found through that textation as well that that poor woman was obsessing over me. Did she fall in love with you? I bet she's going to fall in love with you, though. I remember reading that. Because he said, don't worry, it's nothing. It's not going to be anything serious. Meanwhile, he's asking me to marry him. And she said, yeah, but she's going to fall in love with you, though, because she was still thinking he was all that in a bucket of chicken. This woman was bonded bad. Across the country, kept through their texts, I could tell she was just not letting go. And she was obsessed. He knew he was here. Well, maybe not. He might not have told her she was here in this house. I have no idea to this day. But she was obsessed. What does she look like? Send me a pic, like, obsessed. And I feel like as much as we all had our turn getting crazy, and we never think about them getting crazy for us, I want to just really make you remember, you were wondering what the new was like. They're wondering what you're like. So they're going to ask him all about you. They're going to ask your new supply all about why you ended, what your relationship was like. Did he love you? And he's probably smearing you and giving it all him slanted and you're horrible. When I talked to his new supply I told you about a few weeks ago on those videos, more than that now, she told me, he says you're horrible. And I said, I'm not horrible, I'm adorable. She says, you are adorable. That's what the new supply said to me. So at least I think she understood from hearing from me, talking to me, getting a clip from me. She saw I'm not a monster. But until you know anything, it kills you. You're obsessed. And I want you to remember they're obsessed with you too. Why? Is it going to make you feel better? No, I don't know. That's not why I'm doing it. I just want you to see it from the other perspective. And maybe it will bring you solace knowing you're not the only one obsessing. They are obsessing. They're gonna look in his phone. They're gonna try to find pictures of you because they're wondering what you look like. Were you in shape? Were you smart? Were you funny? Were you nice? Now, they don't want you to be any of these things, of course. They're hoping to find evidence to the latter. They're hoping the way he answers the questions will lead them to the truth of you being some ogre or something. I'm a perfectly lovely person. Now, I don't care what he says or what she thinks. And what he thinks and what she says. I know my worth, that I'm a perfectly lovely person. But I bet that the period during which she was going through being triangulated with me was tough for her. She lives 3 hours away. She couldn't drive by or see what I look like or anything. They don't know this channel exists. He would never know to find it, and why would she find it? I'm growing organically, slowly, right? So they might not ever know, you know? So there she sat wondering. Well, she finally got her answer, and she called me adorable. I love it. I love it. But I was obsessed with her for a long time. Not obsessed looking, but I was curious. When you're still in the throes of not realizing it's nothing you could have done or don't do, you're deep in the throes of, what does she have that I don't? I think it's a very natural feeling. What do they have that I don't? And then they're wondering, well, what did you have and what did you do to make him leave? How could you let him go, this gem of a human? They're being love bombed. What could you possibly not, why don't you want this person? How could you not want this trash, is what I would fill that in with. But they wonder what you guys went through together. Did he take you here? Did he take you there? He'll get these questions every time they go somewhere, especially if you're all local together. Well, did you ever go here with her? Did you ever? That's the new supply, obsessing over the old supply. Did he say to you, the old supply, the same things she's hearing right now in love bombing? She's going to ask him that. Do you say this or that? Of course they're being told no. And of course not. And all of that. Of course the narcissist is never going to admit that. But then you end up finding out at some point that they did indeed say, my hands are cold, they did indeed say the same things to you. They promised you all the same dreams, slightly altered to reflect and mirror exactly what you've expressed to be. You know, you might say, I want a house with a garden. You might say you want a penthouse. You might say you want a farm. You might say you want a beach house. Whatever you said, he's going to tailor it. But, oh yeah, he's doing the same thing to everybody. He's not just with the main supply, like telling the main supply, I want to marry you and all this. He's telling it still to the old supply always. Never shut a door that's on a bench. You want to keep them fresh. Yes, you know I really love you, though. That's what I would find in the text to his ex. You know I really love you, though. How could she even think that was true? She hadn't seen him in a year. He wasn't sneaking off to California. He didn't feel that way. He was just keeping her on the chain. And then he's telling new supply, no one makes me feel the way you do. This has got to be something. And then he's telling the main supply, you know I'm your guy. You know I'm your man. You know that we're meant to be together. Don't stop loving me. He's doing it to everybody. And I just feel like we spend a lot of time obsessing over them. And I'm not saying, yay, they obsess in the other direction. Isn't that great? Good for us, bad for them. Because we are them. We're all in one of these roles at one point or another. I feel bad for any role that you're in. But I've said many times, the new supply is the worst, in my opinion. You got it all coming down the pike. And I would never want to go there again. And I just feel like they'll obsess over you until he has new supply. Because remember, okay, so he left, he came, let's just use, you know, okay? So he this was main supply, it was me, right? He had this X supply out in California. But there wasn't new yet. He started to, oh, I'm sure there was like little bits and pieces, but he wasn't living in two places when he was here. He was here the whole time, Corona. He ends up finding this new supply. Maybe he doesn't even talk to California anymore. Or maybe it's been on the lower level, right? I removed myself from the picture altogether. So he doesn't even have, I'm not there at all. So who knows, maybe when he went down to just her for a minute and there was no new, maybe he reached back out to California. Maybe he got a bunch of new, finally. And then guess what? Maybe he doesn't need California, or I cut him off. So he's not going to be, but guess what? She's now over here, and there is more new coming in over here. So even though she's the main squeeze still, this is the new supply. She's obsessed over these people. You're obsessed over these people. And these new people are obsessed with his main supply. Well, what does she have that we don't? Why does he stay with her? Why doesn't he just leave her? I can make him happy. No, I can really make him happy. Yeah, I can't believe she let him go. I can't believe. And meanwhile, he's romancing all of you and doesn't deserve anybody and is pond scum. I think the new supply always obsesses over the old. I think the main supply obsesses for the old as long as the old is around until he starts getting new, and then you're obsessed with his new supply. And then that supply is obsessed with you. We all can't believe, I think when you're in love bombing, you can't believe someone let him go, right? And then the mask falls and you wonder, did he do this to the last person? Did he do it to them too? And you obsess over that. And then the way you fight and the way you go in and out, they start to obsess over, well, did you fight like this with your old supply? I just don't want you to think you're alone when you're thinking of new supply. They are obsessed with us as main supply, us as X supply, us as new supply. You were new supply once too. And they were obsessed over you when they were the main supply. At one point, we're all in any one of these roles, and I want to make that clear. It just shifts. It's like a big shift. The narcissist remains constant, doling out their ill behavior. And there's players underneath, and they have slots. And one says X supply, new supply, and main supply. And here they are below him, and here it is, right? Main supply is this one. This is the narcissist. And then it goes, and it just keeps. They're just going to remain with the person that gives them the most, that can, not even that, because then you're going to knock yourself out to give them. So whatever they need at the time is where they're going to put themselves. You got money, you got a house, you have whatever they want at the time is with whom they will align themselves. And every single player in their game is obsessed with the other player's position. I only wanted to mention it because I think we don't think of that. And maybe take your mind off how obsessed you are with them. Give it some thought. I know I got my stuff together. So if she ever did obsess or still asks some questions now, I don't care. He's telling her all bad things and says I'm horrible. I know I'm not. I think she got to know I'm not. I represented myself well. I'm not worried about that. But I bet she still obsesses about me because she's still in it. The only thing that stops the obsession is when you get out. I jumped off the track. I jumped out of it. I jumped off the hamster wheel. I'm out of it. So I'm not obsessed about anybody, but I bet anybody, if you're an ex of a narcissist, at some point they're going to look and see pictures of you in the phone. They're going to hear a story. They're going to hear him say your name or something, and they're going to flip out. I want us to all have more empathy towards each other because we've all been in every single position and none of them are good. But I wanted to let you know that somebody's obsessing over you too. I hope you guys have a good night. I do thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Please go ahead, and if you want to join us again, that'd be great. I hope you tune in again, comment, hit the subscribe button, and let's see those numbers go up. I would love that. Look at me saying subscribe right out loud. I know I go through phases and I never say it, but I have to learn to. So thank you for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time.